This time around, I wasn't feeling too great bringing in the new year. If I'm being honest, my lack of enthusiasm wasn't anything dramatic or compelling. I was just down. And I'm actually someone who really enjoys the act of making resolutions and the feeling of a new period, even if it is just a man-made construct. Why not take advantage of the feeling? Yet there I was, stagnant in an era of what felt like complacency, checking boxes for a career that I wasn't completely sure of anymore. I asked myself, truthfully, if I were already filthy rich, or very comfortable, what would I want to be doing with my life right now? So basically, if finances weren't a question. And I really sat on this. Really. Getting to know how our ego influences our day-to-day life is tough, because we tend to live in so much denial about it. I never looked at myself as someone with an inflated ego, let alone driven by it. But then I listened to Oprah's Super Soul podcast on ego, which is linked in the description, and it presented a different perspective on how our ego tends to take the wheel in nuanced ways. I encourage you to listen to it. I realized that I no longer craved a fast-paced life, constantly gauging competition, harboring a scarcity mindset, valuing days strictly by productivity, and by the way, to whose standard? It seemed like, no, I was doing things to prove myself. Yep, I can do it, and I can do it with a facade of grace. But that's not what I truly wanted for me. I wondered how many others, especially college students and recent grads, who were also mindlessly checking boxes, feeling satisfied by a facade of progress. Yet for what? For who? Are we still excited about and feel purpose within the career we're reaching towards? Or are we settling into this space because we've dedicated so much time to it already? Well, we're allowed to change our mind, even if we've devoted years, effort, and sacrifices into it. Because we all deserve a path of peace and happiness, as cliche as it sounds. We're not bound to our past decisions. Rather, they help us grow to become who we wish and we're meant to be. Quarantine, and I recognize the privilege in being able to say this, quarantine guided me to reconnect with what I truly valued in life. And that's what you're seeing here. The past year of slowing down, healing, listening to myself and others, especially others, with deep interest and gentle interrogation. So, here's to letting go of the ego, letting go of who we have cemented as our very being, in order to make space for who we are meant to be. The ego has an element of self-preservation, of an image of ourselves that we have culminated over time through accomplishments, quote-unquote failures, external and internal opinions, learned values that form judgment, and so forth. Letting go of this boundary between ourselves and the world releases judgment of not only ourselves but of others. It releases any notion of who or what we have been told we are, and to accept what simply is in the moment. This diminishes any limitations or boundaries we've surrounded ourselves with in order to experience reality as reality is. It's to my understanding that Suga from BTS once said, "You just have to keep going. Don't think, just keep going. Don't put too much thought into what you're doing. Then one day, you'll realize you've grown dramatically. This is the truth. To overcome a slump, some people make it sound like you have to do something special. But it's not true. You just have to keep going. And I would like to add that just being is growing." I'll sign off with the conversation I read in some TikTok comments. Love is our only salvation. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you were able to take something from this, and if it was too much to consider, to do, to think, remember that you don't have to do everything all at once. Take only what you can handle for now, and I'll see you all next week. With love, May.